Hey up.
Hi. So, this is the first and potentially last, who knows, podcast for Catch Up. I'm your host of A Manner of Speaking, your host Chris, and this is our guest Wayne for our first episode.
How you doing?
And so the idea of Catch Up is, so I haven't seen you in a while.
No.
Let's catch up. That's the idea.
Let's
I mean, there's a couple of other things, but so yeah. What have you been up to? What is the hippity happity hop on the word on the street and shit?
Not much on the street, as in I've not been on the street. I've been off the street. I'm now working freelance.
Cool. Doing what?
Well, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I can't tell you too much, but
Jesus, that sounds ominous.
Maybe
so
it is.
You're a little bit there, a little bit here,
a little bit there, a little bit here. Doing a few things. Getting into the film and commercial world.
Oh shit! Okay.
So doing a little.
Anything that we might know?
Nothing I could tell you about at this moment in time.
Oh shit! Is like get the MOD? Like,
maybe.
Oh shit! Is that okay? Hammer on the head. Man, yeah. It's been a couple of months, actually, isn't it? Since last
It's been
time I
a
saw
while. It's been a while. I think the
So-
last time I saw you is your birthday.
Oh fuck! It's been ages. Jesus.
Okay, too long.
Yeah. So yeah, as you know, I went to the land of the Po land.
You had no choice, did
No,
you?
no, not really at all.
Exactly.
I went with one of our other guests that we're going to have on, and the quizmaster of the Equitable, Mike Gels. They came up for the first week, and it was all fun and games. We had loads of fun, and like they came for the week. We were there for 2 weeks. So as they left, I realised that I don't speak Polish. So as the English part of my brain left the country, I was left like a small poverty-stricken child in the Victorian era, looking into a rich family Christmas dinner, and everyone smiling, laughing, maybe having a little bit of bickering, like, oh, that seems fun.
That's not good.
I wish I was invited, but I was actually invited. I was at the table, so.
Okay, but you couldn't converse with anybody or communicate with anybody because your lack of Polish.
Because my lack of understanding of the human condition. But also because of Poland not being England. And V, my girlfriend, would just periodically turn around to me and say, "Oh yeah, we're speaking about the child that died a couple of years back here." Also, Mwonwyn sounds ludicrously Welsh. It's actually north of Poland. Is a town that consists of 2 roads. So obviously that's still the headlines there. Like shit hasn't really gone away, and like they'll be talking about that, and then she'll turn around and say, "Oh, we're talking about the roads now." And you're like, it's just like it's so animated, and then you'd only get like a bit of a snippet, a bit of you're just like, now you're up to date, and like you go back, and now you're up to date again, and then you go back, but it's over a course of days that you get this. So
I like the sound of that. 2 roads, one in, one out. That's it.
Pretty much, it was like
a conversation. That's like 5 seconds, wasn't it?
Yeah. Largely, yeah.
From an outside spread it all out.
It is a Stephen King
stretch it out
like village.
Is it?
But it's great. All right. Okay. So now we've been somewhat caught up. There's other things that we'll probably find those things later. But
many things.
So there's a couple of things that we want to talk about. So I know you have an interest in aliens and UFOs. As does everyone. I mean, everyone always has a stance to take on that.
Oh, very much.
And I want to talk about cyborg anthropology in general, but also the idea of the coming automation apocalypse, where everything's going to be completely done for us, and the only thing that's going to be a problem is how we're going to spend our free time. So the idea of that is leisure's going to become a problem.
Are you talking about AI, artificial intelligence?
Yeah.
Okay.
So once we get to the point of I guess, no return. Once a computer gets to a certain point of intelligence, and like it's gonna gradually happen. I mean, like the idea of so Tesla and Google, they have self-driving cars. Think about the industries that's gonna wipe out. I mean, like it's safer to use an AI driver. There's already videos on YouTube of these cars saving people.
Yes,
so
I've seen
it sees so much stuff. It's like at the end of Limitless, where he's having that last word with his arch nemesis, as it were, and he reveals that he basically sees everything. He goes, "Yeah, there's going to be a car crash," and goes, "Where?" And then it happens. So he's basically Tesla's car, but at the end, but like it's happening now. So you're gonna lose lorry drivers, taxi drivers, couriers, so much stuff. I mean, like that's only like the tip of the iceberg for just driving. And once I was looking at a graph, and by I think it was like 45 years time, largely every blue collar job is going to be easily outpaced by artificial intelligence in one way or another.
Okay, well they've been trying to do that for many decades, haven't they? Really, I mean it's been
going on since the Industrial Revolution, really. But
any sort of automation,
it comes down to the idea of Luddites and weaving being done better by a machine. I mean, that's kind of the first shit that hit the fan when it comes down to automation, and it hasn't really stopped, to be honest.
Well, automation, it's all to do with making money, is it not, as well? Commercialism.
Oh, yeah, completely and definitely. I mean, like the idea of progress has completely stripped people, not just like an industry, but a multitude of industries that people leaving school rely on to kind of get into the workforce and all that sort of stuff. So once that's gone and there's no replacement, and that's when we're fucked. But if we do something about that, then the problem comes down to leisure, like I said earlier. I mean, like, just imagine if you never had to do anything ever and you'll be fine. Would you slip into the laziness spiral, which is like one of the biggest problems that the UBI, the UBI?
What's UBI?
The Universal Basic Income. It's an idea that's been bounced around for centuries, basically. It's free money for, like, just, there you go, there's money.
Okay.
Spend it however you want to spend it.
Okay. Well, UBI, I mean, Universal, what's it called?
Universal Basic Income.
Basic income. Well, it doesn't have to be money, does it, as such? It doesn't have to be a current, well, not the money we think of as currency. I mean, they say the universe is abundant. It can give you whatever you want. I think the way we're living at the moment, it's not quite in tune with the universe.
Yeah, completely not.
I think, unfortunately, it's still man-based way of living. We've been controlled by a small group of people to a certain extent, dictating how we should live, work, eat, pleasure.
In the abundance economy, where everything is just naturally just done for us and it's there, so you're never going to run out of food and everyone can eat globally. That's one of the largest problems, and you've got automation for building houses so everyone has shelter. You don't have to really worry about anything. The choice comes down to what you do with your free time. Okay.
Well, my question is, from that to this, or from this state now to that, how do we get there? And how long we're talking about?
There's
100 years? A million years?
Far too many people with too many fingers and too many cookie jars to let that ever happen. Because if you give everything to people for free, and there's no reward for anything, and there's no servitude of people, then people at the top aren't making any money. I guess the people that repair the AI automation stuff, but then there'll be AI automation to repair.
Yeah,
It's just so once that's done, there's not going to really be any need for humans. So that it's just going to be, it's technically the ultimate utopia, but at the same time, does everyone become hedonistic and just fuck around with their lives, or do you see like a new era of just human greatness come out, or will we get bored and kill each other?
Well, there's a lot of questions there, isn't it? End of the day, this particular system we're living in now, it cannot last.
No,
it cannot last, and it's not natural. You know, I mean, I can't remember the guy's name now, but basically he was in contact with some aliens, and the aliens couldn't understand the concept that the fact that we had to pay to live on our planet. You know what I'm saying? What I mean, in their culture, they didn't have that. Everything is, well, I suppose it is abundant. It's whatever you need: house, food, whatever. Over here, on this planet, it's completely different. Completely different. And we're not living as a human being, are we? Really, we're living as slaves. Always have been. Yeah. You're born into it. You grow into it.
Consumers. That's basically what they are. Just.
Yeah, we've been programmed to be consumers, haven't we? You know, from the day you're born, I think that second you're born, you are probably free. After that, you're no longer free.
Once you're named, I guess.
Well, I mean, you get processed. You get your birth certificate. You start going through the school systems, the educational systems. You know. University, apparently you come out of that university or college or whatever, and you move into some form of industry. You know, you basically become a slave for somebody else. You go working for somebody else. I'm not quite sure about your schooling. In my schooling, we didn't have, okay, by the way, you can either go and work for someone or you can work for yourself.
None of that. The education system
is what we're going to do. This is, you know, and this is how you do it. You know, I don't remember that. I don't remember being educated in the finances of this world, how to better yourself, how to become richer in this world financially, because it's all based down to money, isn't it, really? We didn't have those lessons there. Well, some of us did, if you're in a certain class, you know, or bloodline or whatever, you know. But that's the problem.
See,
we're stuck with this.
Two things there. You said earlier, how do you change that into this? So what we have into something else. So you know, the idea of ideological apparatus.
Explain.
So, the idea of society is based on pillars of ideological apparatus.
Okay.
So you've got religion, you've got your education, you've got family, you've got peers. Got government, and to a lesser extent the authorities that are the hands of government, but the government is like a bigger pillar, and you got loads of different things that basically act as a room of mirrors. So you're inside and the ideological pillars are around you, but they're mirrors. They're showing you in the reality that they've created for you.
Okay,
so it's a self-policing mechanism for the whole of society. So the only feasible way that you can really change how people act throughout a longer extended period of time is by changing the way that they police themselves within society. So if you change one of the mirrors, like education is a bigger one, because no matter what country you're from, the national education system is going to be laden with propaganda ideas, and you can't really stop that. So if you make ways of unifying the idea of what intellect is and isn't, and how you can differentiate between individual intelligences, because there is the same amount of intelligences that they are as people. There is no such thing as not being intelligent.
That's correct. Yeah.
So
that's right.
Once the education system globally accepts that and starts working with each other, one of the main pillars that make you change your own behaviour within society, that has fundamentally changed, and that becomes socially acceptable to change how you want to live within life. And once you've got that, everything that the people that are inside that society go into the other pillars of reality, of the human condition that you find yourself in, and that's a way you can change society. I mean, it has over and over again reiterated itself in different ways, but that basically, I think that's how you. And another point that you said was these aliens didn't understand having to pay for life.
For living, yes, exactly, yes. Life as we know it, we've been told how it is.
Yeah. Just imagine you've got to a point where you can travel the gulf of space, and then just you turn up to these ape-like creatures. There is no way that you're going to be similar in any way. And if you are, then that is against all odds.
Well, I think coming across ape-like creatures, I think we're talking about ourselves. I think, to be honest, we're probably the apes of the universe.
No, if you're the super intelligent hyper racer that just jumped across the universe and then come across us, we are the ape-like creatures. There's no questioning that.
What a waste of fuel.
Yeah, like, what the fuck are we doing?
We come all this way and they what? They're still
people.
dealing with what? No, and this is the problem. That's what people say about, why haven't the aliens revealed themselves to us? Well, would you?
No, fuck that. I would put a slippery when wet sign around our fucking solar system, around our galaxy even, man. I'm like, nope, none of that. Let's just side that shit.
Well, that's what they say.
Come back next century. No, they're still like that. Come back in a millennia. They'll probably be a little less stupid.
And I think you're probably right. I think they've probably been doing that for millions of years.
Yeah.
Coming back here, hoping we've actually moved on and thinking, okay, no, this is not working out.
It just got fucking worse. What the fuck?
You know, basically they treat us like GM crops. Well, let's alter this bit here, alter that bit there, and we'll come back in another million years, see how they get on. And so far, so bad. They'll probably come back thinking, we need to scrap the experiment. It's not working. Which I suppose we are. We weren't. I don't think we're the first human beings to ever exist. I'm quite sure we're a human 3.0 or more.
If we're 3.0, then they are fucking up really badly.
Well, that's maybe
they have to be like
1.5
at the most.
Now we're struggling. We're sort of Windows 3.11, aren't we? Really, it's not good. It's not good. So I don't know.
We're Windows Vista.
You were fucked.
Wait, was Vista good or Vista bad? I
Vista
can't remember.
was bad, I believe.
The fact that I can't remember it means it can't be great.
Right. What the kids say, XP was the best. Well, apparently. I don't know what was good about it. Maybe they like the X and the P together. Yeah. I don't know, but yeah.
Because they remember gaming being XP based, so it's all experience
that's probably
based.
What it is.
It's all about the experience. Well,
we like the experience.
Now, well, in a couple of years' time, every interface is going to be like, or either augmented reality, or you're actually going to stick your head inside a camera, like Oculus Rift and shit like that.
Okay.
So everything, you know, Facebook bought Oculus.
No, what's Oculus?
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what we're saying.
Back.
What is that? What's Oculus?
Oculus Rift is that thing that you stick on your head.
Oh yeah.
And it's two cameras that go to your eyes, so you don't actually have to. It's like it's real focus.
They actually bought it.
Yeah.
What the hell?
So like it tracks your head movement. So when you look, it looks around. So they did this thing. They did a 360-degree video or picture. I think it was a video of the Syrian refugee camp. So you can walk around the camp like first person and actually be there, and just look around and just see the shit. And it's just refugee camp as far as the eye can see.
Jesus.
And a little less horrendous. These two coders went to reconstructed this Italian villa in Florence for their gran, and then stuck her inside this old town. It's gone now, but like this woman was like walking around this this town that she grew up when she was a girl. It's like now completely obliterated, but and like it's, you see the joy on her face. So it's the ability to kind of completely change your perspective. I mean, it's going to be amazing for like physically disabled people. FYI, this is our the magician behind the curtain, the wizard behind the curtain. This is Neil, also known as Groove Killer, also known as Digital, also known as the winner of second place, but the spiritual winner of last week's
some beat competition.
Yeah.
Thanks for that intro. That was like, you know a lot about me.
Yeah, man. Too much.
Yeah, you know.
What are my digital handles?
Like Pan Domestic.
Okay, fair enough. You know one.
Yeah, and no, so isn't it Pan Domestic for everything?
No.
Is it not?
No.
It's not.
Nah.
Well, then I just.
I'm a guy of many faces. You can't see all of them.
Okay.
Because sometimes I'm facing you and I've got another face behind me, so it's impossible.
Oh, cool.
You guys got a lot of handles there. You wanted by Interpol or something like that?
Multiple.
Or FBI,
multiple
Most
Interpols.
Wanted.
Wait, no, there's just one Interpol, isn't there?
Europol, isn't it? No?
Yeah.
Apparently. I think so. They're all connected.
It's all about the Poles. Can't trust them.
You love them.
I really do.
That's what she told me anyway.
Yeah. Anywho, so where were we? We were talking about the Oculus. It's just reached UK TV advertising blah. That I haven't watched any TV for so long because of Netflix and generally the internet. So it was surprising when I saw an advert that I couldn't skip. But anyway, the Oculus turned up. It was like £399 with the little the hand things. So now you can move around your head and inside this world, but now you can move around your hands inside this world. So it's going to be amazing for video games. And like we were saying earlier, we got the Facebook implications of whatever they're going to fucking do, and they're going to do something.
Of course.
Neil was making the point that they are the ones that are going to enforce the Matrix, aren't they? They're gonna make it, and we're going to buy it, and we're going to jump into it, and we're never going to come out. Also, actually, kind of goes on nicely to the theory that we are already living in the Matrix or a simulation.
Well, absolutely right. They've been saying that for a long time now.
Well, like,
so it will be Matrix within the Matrix.
Yeah, I think it's also like it's forever. It's like the idea of truth, the idea of God, the idea of infinity. I mean, there's no end, is there?
I think we've got a bit of a problem when people say, "Oh, they need to reveal the truth very soon." I don't think we could handle the truth, as Jack Nicholson said.
Our little human minds would blow up.
Yeah, exactly. They just pop. They just pop off your little head. I don't think we could handle
actually,
that.
That would happen, or everyone would just go, "Oh, okay," and then just pretend like they never heard it, or like
ignore it.
Carry on with their life. Like, it's like, did you hear the news that we don't exist? Actually, we're all a simulation of ourselves, and nothing really matters.
Well, this is the problem.
Oh yeah, it's a nice day, isn't it? Yeah.
Well,
did you just hear what I said?
Well, people have an attention span of 10 seconds, isn't it? That's been programmed into us over the decades. There, the Americans got into that. Did you say something?
Yeah, no, correct.
Yeah, and they cannot remember. They'd be shocked upon one thing if it's not something like some natural disaster or artificial disaster, be it a false flag, or something like Charlie Hebdo, something like that, or 7/7, 9/11. Name it, doesn't really matter. After a while, and that while will be 10 seconds, maybe 1 day, 1 week possibly. Everybody's upset, angry, in awe, and after that, exactly what you're saying, they don't remember a damn thing. What's really most important is
kind of like Theresa May.
Yes.
She was like public enemy number one for like a week or something, but now just no one gives a crap.
No,
because Trump tweeted something.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, what were we angry about? Where am I?
Exactly.
Where's my food? What is that smell?
There you go.
It's like she was like public enemy number one.
Sure.
She had so many critics online, and then after like a week or something, like like even I like forgot about who she was. And I was like,
Who are we talking about?
yeah, and like when stuff comes up in the news about it, it's like, oh, is she even relevant anymore?
This is the thing.
Yeah.
And people forget.
We kind of want it to be, right?
Yeah.
Well, then again, I remember when she was it Foreign Secretary back in the day? The thing she did.
Education.
Was she education?
I can't
remember now.
She came out of nowhere to me.
Yeah, but then again, look, nobody voted her in, did they?
No.
She's not voted in, so she's got to go anyway. So,
It's like, did you ever watch any of House of Cards?
the original?
No, the American one.
Not the American,
With
the UK
Kevin
one.
Spacey.
No.
Oh man, it is really like some fucking House of Cards stuff going on.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, it's corruption. That's the problem. Politics over here or there. The States.
Yeah, I mean, it's just politics in general, really, isn't
Well,
it? You were talking about false flags and all that. I watched a documentary recently. It's actually on Netflix. It is called Unacknowledged, I think, or it might be another one. If you watch Unacknowledged, then it will crop up, because I didn't realise how much UFO stuff was on Netflix until I watched one thing, and you're like, oh, you might be interested in everything.
That's
and you know,
right.
it's just so much stuff. Anywho, like, watch the documentary. I mean, it's interesting no matter what stance you have on the idea of aliens and UFOs and stuff like this. It kind of concludes that they're going to be, and when I say there, I mean like the topmost secret service of the secret service. So even the secret service are kind of like hoodwinked by what the upper
of course.
secret service are actually doing. That's the general idea anyway. And they say that they're getting into the position where they have retro-engineered the technology that they've come across, and now they've got stuff that looks indistinguishable from alien technology, but it's man-made and human-wielded. So to unite and unify the world, they're going to host a space invasion, which isn't completely unbelievable. I mean, like, you go, well, yeah, like if you're scared that you're losing grasp of the power over human beings, then what better use is just to kind of unite them and submit them by fear, by doing something like this, if you have the capabilities.
And I think they do, because at the end of the day, the people who are worried about that would be the religious groups, Catholic Church in particular, and it controls a lot of Catholics around the world, and politicians as well. Was it not that researcher, that lady who worked with Werner von Braun, the engineer from Germany, shall we say, after the bad old days?
We just kind of cherry-picked him.
Oh yeah, he came over to the States and he started up, or helped to start up, NASA as we know it, because as you remember in World War II, the V2 rocket, he invented and tried to shot over. Same guy.
So he kind of forgived a little bit of what he did.
Oh, forgot about that. Yeah, they forgot about that.
What's this 5-year gap on your CV? We don't speak about that.
We don't talk about that one. Don't worry about it. Where was this? Germany? Nazi? No. It wasn't Nazi. Just Germany. You know, old Federation Republic.
What is this N Germany? Oh, it's North Germany. Was there a North Germany? Yeah, why not?
There is now. Is now. And he's the one, basically, he's the father of the rockets, father of NASA, shall we say. And
wow. Does the N in NASA mean Nazi?
What do the Americans say? The acronym, isn't it? No, what do they say? Never a straight answer. Something like that. NASA acronym, never a straight answer. But there's something else as well. I think there's another acronym for it as well.
Never a straight acrobat?
Could be. Or somebody acrobatic.
Never a stray acknowledgement.
Could be. Well, they say
never going to acknowledge all the things.
And any of these things.
Yeah.
Well, people even in NASA never knew what was going on there.
That's
it's like anything
largely
else.
what this documentary is saying. And you got these the high-ranking ex-generals and shit. Oh, come here! You seem to be slipping away from me right now. And you're going away? Oh no, you're staying there.
You got mic problems there. What can you do?
We all got money problems.
Yeah.
Should
No
be
problem.
alright.
Yeah.
Should be fine.
Okay, hopefully. I trust you, Wizard of Oz.
What? should be fine.
Yeah, what was it?
What was I saying? Yes, so yeah, Werner von Braun. He confessed to a lady called Carol Roslin, who was a friend of his down in NASA, and he was saying in the later years to come there would be certain things which will either bring us together or divide us. Certain things like they'll be focusing on, especially the media, focusing on people, nations of interest, terrorism, all that sort of thing. And eventually there would be something like a UFO invasion that would be televised or recorded or something like that, just to bring us together, through that fear, keep the fear going, which this is not true at all, of course. But I mean, imagine that suddenly, there are aliens there. And to be honest, if you look on YouTube, what else do you see?
Yeah.
All these...
And in Hollywood as well.
Well, that's the
really
same.
getting you
What's the
ready for some
difference?
shit. Like.
What's the difference?
Yeah.
No, there's no difference at all. I mean, the stuff on YouTube is a lot of trash, to be honest. This is rubbish, it's nonsense, But the truth is, yes, there have been alien visitations. There are people from other races or universes living here. I mean, this has been going on before Roswell in 1947. And going back to the bit where you're saying about back engineering, from that point on, that's when the back engineer needed a lot of stuff. Stealth came from there, all that kind of thing. Certain government contractors were specifically employed by the government to work on these projects. Skunk Works.
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Do you think the pyramids were built by aliens? Or do you think aliens had anything to do with it?
We couldn't build it. We can't build them now.
Yeah.
With all our technology. There's not one crane in existence could lift one of those stones.
Yeah.
So there's no way. It's not our technology here we're talking about. It's
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm along the lines of tens of thousands of slaves were killed in the creation of it. So I think I'm closer to that spectrum than getting aliens to come and build it for us.
Well, there's not enough people to move those stones, I don't think. You probably died trying, but we're going to run out of slaves at some point. I mean, you physically could not do that. Okay, you move one stone. All right, now you've got to move this stone and put it on top of the other one. Okay, you're 10 stones up and thinking, hang on here.
Because they're old.
They're heavy.
Like, think about it this way. The Romans... in their heyday, that empire went for ages, right?
It went for ages and it went distance
the
as well.
Romans are as old to us now than the last part of the Egyptian empire was to the beginning of the Roman Empire. So we look at the Romans and call them the ancient Romans, but to the ancient Romans, the Egyptians were ancient.
They were.
From the beginning, anyway.
That's true. Then before the Egyptians, what did we have before that? Sumerians, Babylonians, and all that kind of thing. So there's plenty of them there. Whose technology were they using to build the pyramids? Well, it wasn't man's technology because we didn't have it. It was given to us, I think.
Yeah. You get pyramids in South America as well, isn't it?
Yeah, the Incas. Well, Incas. Oh no, yeah. Aztecs.
Pyramids, yeah.
Wait, where were the Incas? They were the same place.
That's South
weren't they?
America. Yeah.
I think Incas have some.
They have them. Vietnam has them. There's one in Japan. There's one in. Is it Bosnia? I think it's Bosnia. The Bosnian pyramid, apparently.
Huh.
Yeah, there's loads all over. China's got one.
That doesn't surprise me as much.
No, but then again, there's one on the moon. There's one on Mars. There's one on Venus.
Oh.
Houston, we have a problem.
Oh, yeah.
We have a problem here. They're saying, we've not been to Mars. But then again, you troll through YouTube and you could find some interesting things. And there's some people said, yes, there were experiments done back in the day which transports you from here to Mars. No time. Thing called jump rooms, they called it.
That'd be useful.
Could be handy. Get from here to Tesco. They close in 2 seconds. Oh my god.
Speaking of which, oh shit, was it the Japanese or I think it was the Chinese actually. They've effectively done quantum teleportation between light photons between here and space. I expect the International Space Station.
Oh yeah.
They apparently done it, and that's a thing.
Does not surprise me. Does not surprise me. Then again, that's just now, but there's so much stuff done back then, 60s, 50s. There was so much stuff. I think what we've been told about how much science we have now, I think that's been, well, not lying to is the wrong word, but they've been very economic.
They've been what I like to call oh wow, like let's make up what I like to call it, Applefying it.
Applefying.
Because like the technology exists, but Apple drip feeds you morphine, man. They are so slow at releasing their shit, and when they do, it's like, hey, FYI, we didn't put a camera on the last one, so here's a camera on it now. Yeah. FYI, we didn't put a port that you could get all the stuff out of that camera. So yeah, there we are now. Like,
look, they need to make their money.
We just got you to buy all of the USB stuff.
Exactly.
By the way, we're now changing our ports, so you have to buy all this stuff. So like they are doing that, and I think it's similar.
But they're all doing
the tech
it.
is there.
Bill Gates is doing Windows, Microsoft. They all do it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's the idea of science fiction becomes military fact, and once it becomes military fact, it trickles down through industrial use and then kind of just the general economic
domestic
and stuff like that. So
no, you're absolutely right.
Anything that is fringe at the moment, the military snaps out first.
Oh, they love it. Of course they love it. Of course. And
they have a lot more than you're ever going to see.
No, what they drip feed us now is coming from the military, not from Apple, but it's the same principle. You know, they're talking about the stealth bomber. Well, the stealth bomber has been kicking around since 60s, before the 60s.
And if you look at that thing does not look human. It's so creepy.
Nothing like we've seen. And the B-1 bomber and all those kind of things, you know. Was it B-2? Was it B-2? B-2, I think it was.
The one that looks just like a black triangle with knives on the end.
That's the one. Yeah,
exactly. That thing.
Even that's, actually, do you think about it, it's quite old.
Put a picture up, like if we have the video.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, we're just living. What somebody said to us the other day, everything you ever known is a lie. Heavy statement, but you start thinking it through, thinking, doesn't surprise me.
No, that's believable enough, that.
It doesn't surprise me. You know? Because they keep coming up with something, oh no, we don't think this way now, we don't do things this particular way. No, we're doing it this way now. I think, okay, how many hoops do you want me to jump through? You know?
I mean, when you fundamentally think about humans' perception of reality, especially in urbanized areas, I mean, everything that you see was once in someone's imagination. It wasn't even tangible before someone thought about it. Like, right in front of me, I'm seeing like a laptop that has bits mined from it from the Congo. I'm looking at this guitar that has millennia of history behind it, and books as well. Like the history of books, the history of the implementation of trying to figure out how to tell someone something that isn't in your time period, and like basically messaging the future and saving knowledge. I mean, like, all of that was once a figment of someone's imagination that has now gone on to create what we perceive today.
Sure.
And everything is ideas, basically, no matter what. I mean, like, and to suggest that that can't be manipulated into a lie, a perceived sleight of hand, you have to be kind of kidding yourself a little bit.
I think so. Well, information, knowledge is power, and that's why a lot of it is hidden from us. They say there's about how many hundreds of miles of corridors underneath the Vatican Church. That's for their library alone. There are billions of books in
forbidden
these
knowledge.
things. Yeah.
It's
And what, we can't handle
intriguing.
it? No, we could handle it. It was just a case of...
Well, it's power, isn't it? Knowledge is power.
And they want to keep
just
it that
imagine
way.
how much shit they have down there.
Oh, not just them. They all the governments got something stashed away. So, I don't know.
Right, so I think we could talk about this forever, but let's wrap up a little bit, or at least begin to wrap up. So we had a message from Poland, basically a comment question. Let's call it that. So the question is from Agnieszka from Poland. What would you tell your younger self? So first, I think we need to kind of think about, when we think about our younger selves, what age are we thinking about?
What's that, 16?
That's a good point.
16? I mean, I'm 27,
age-
so that's only 10 years ago, give or take.
At what? Yeah, exactly. At what age does it make a difference? I mean, so conscious age. So we're looking sort of late.
I would say 11,
teens,
because that's
yeah.
when shit really goes down for most people. Like the 5 years of school, kind of just
Oh, school.
Yeah.
Programming, you mean?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
that thing,
Yeah.
propaganda.
So, what would you tell yourself at that age about life?
I think
how to live
drastically,
life, how to...
I'd change what I'd say to my 11-year-old self to the things that I'd tell my 16-year-old self. So at 11, it would be try harder. Literally, just you're like, you're busting your ass, but you can honestly get a lot more out of the time that you spend in and around the place that you are than you're currently getting. And at 16, I would say, stop trying so hard. So it would be like completely switched around.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, if I could tell my 11-year-old self some kind of pearls of wisdom there, I'll probably say, yeah, don't listen to anyone else. Listen to yourself and make your own decisions. You know? Don't believe that you cannot do things, because we all have that potential to do anything we want, potentially. We have no restrictions, not really. The only restrictions we have are the ones we place upon ourselves. So if you can bypass that sort of perspective, you start seeing the world differently and behaving differently, knowing full well that, okay, that's not what I see or been told. I can do whatever I want. And it's true. Because at school, they tell you what you can do up to a certain point. You can only go so far. You can only do this. Why is that? Because you only got a certain grade or whatever, or you cannot do this because we don't think you have the capacity to do that. We're infinite capacity. We can do whatever the hell we want, really. If people start to think about that a bit more, we wouldn't have all these people sort of stuck in dead-end jobs or not believing in themselves because somebody else told them to. No. You need to just believe that you can do anything and be anyone, you know. Don't be restricted by whatever people tell you. That's all I would say. Be free.
Good advice.
Yeah,
And also,
well, I hope
you've
so.
just gone back in time to tell your 11-year-old self, don't listen to anyone. And he's like,
You as well, including you,
Yeah.
including me.
Yeah, mixed messages, man. What about you?
If I had to tell my younger self anything,
At what age?
probably maybe 15, 16. Probably say, try not to be too nice, because it not always will be given back. If that makes sense. Because when you get older, you kind of realise not everyone is always, obviously, not everyone has your best intentions at heart. So I would probably tell myself, because at a young age I thought everyone was like safe, blah blah blah.
Had your back all the time, yeah.
But it's just not the case. Sometimes, yeah. So I'd say try to be mindful of like
the human condition, I guess.
Nice. Yeah. Just be mindful, I guess.
People are people.
Yeah. Oh, and bad decisions lead to bad consequences. That's what I'd say.
But then again, is there any such thing as a bad decision? I think as human beings, we've been born to encounter bad decisions or experience things which you think, oh, bad. Is there any such thing as good and bad? They're just an experience.
Yeah.
I think the thing is with the experience or the whatever bad has happened to you.
Yeah.
What did you get from that? What did you learn from that?
Yeah.
And that is the thing. Then from that point you can take that as a positive and move forward with that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any good and bad, good and evil.
Yeah.
I don't think that really exists. It's something we've been told.
Yeah.
But the things you experience, okay, just an experience.
Yeah.
Okay, you didn't like it, didn't go down too well, but what did you get out of it? This is the thing.
There's always
You can salvage something out of something, anything really, you know?
always learn something.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's what life's all about. It's all about learning.
Well, after hearing that, I'll probably say, after something bad happens, it's not the end of the world.
It's not bad,
It's not the end
exactly.
of the world.
No,
Yeah, it's not
no.
the end of the world.
Well, yeah, exactly. Did your world stop when these bad things happened? Did it just come to a grinding halt? No, it didn't. You just carried on.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I'm just presuming here, you didn't take anything from that experience.
Yeah.
It's basically you just logged it as a bad experience, whatever it is, but you didn't quite sucked out the good juices out of that bad experience.
Salvage the lesson.
Yeah, exactly. And incorporated it into your life.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's the thing.
Yeah. Well, I'll take Wayne's advice to my younger self as well. I'll tell him that.
Okay, from all of the stuff that you just said, what do you think that your younger self would say back to you to this advice?
No.
What the hell are you talking about, old man?
Where the fuck did you come from? What is that a portal? That's a portal, isn't it?
Mom, there's an alien in front of me.
Mom, some old man's talking to me.
Could be in the sticks somewhere. Could be, boy, get my gun.
Where
got a
was
stranger
I when I
here.
was 11? Like, I was,
In this house, right?
yeah, I was literally here, exactly
There
here.
you go.
Playing video games, most likely.
Cool.
And if some random person that potentially, when you're that age, you can look like anyone when you grow up. So if some random person says, "Yo, I'm you," you're like, "Yeah, really? Ish. Okay, cool."
But then again, I suppose, if it wasn't you going back to tell you something, it could have been an ultimate stranger in that time period telling you or giving you the advice. Would you have listened to them then?
Potentially, but also, as soon as you hear that, then you stop being the person that's gone back to tell you that thing, so then you've already created a paradox. So then that same person can't come back to tell you that thing. So you've ultimately killed a version of you. You're a cosmic murderer.
Well, I suppose we live, die, repeat, isn't it? It depends how you look at yourself and the universe. Because I don't think it's the end when we die. We live, experience, die, repeat. What purpose? I don't know. Just to experience. That's
repeats.
Exactly.
But yeah.
To make sure that you get that breakdancing career down.
Unfortunately, that's where I've been going wrong.
Yeah.
Cool. So, final thoughts?
Yeah. This could be a thing.
More guests.
Yeah, like every time.
Cool.
It'll be like by the end of it, it'll be like the Blazing Squad. There'll be 15 of us.
I better stop it now before we get. Are you sure you want to record
Glitch
this?
in the motherfucking Matrix is what it is, man. Life is a lie. We're in a fucking virtual reality.
Red pill, blue pill.